Hola chicos, ¿cómo están? Mi nombre es Tomás, I soy tutor de vinos, and today I'm gonna talk about 12 Spanish wine terms that you should know, so keep watching! So guys, the first thing that we're gonna learn today is word Cava. So when you have a Cava on the Spanish bottle of wine, we know this is a fully sparkling wine. We know it's mostly produced in Penedès. They're also using winemaking technique called classic method. What that means wine is fermented inside the bottle, so we have a second fermentation inside the bottle, and then wine is aged on the lees for at least 9 months. 18 months for the Reserva and 30 months for Gran Reserva Cava. If you'd like to learn more about premium sparkling Spanish wines, make sure you watch that video until the end. So the second term, guys, is word Joven. Joven means basically young in Spanish. So when you have Joven on the label, this is a perfect example of grape variety called Mencía. That means the wine is normally unoaked. It's kind of easy drinking wine and should be consumed in next 3 to 5 years. So guys, the next term is word Roble. So when you have Roble on bottle of Spanish wines, that means the wines normally age in between 2 to 6 months in oak barrels. That term is widely used in a region called Ribera del Duero. So if you're looking for really good value for money wine from Spain, normally red, Roble is a perfect choice. So guys, the next term is word Crianza. When you see word Crianza on the bottle of Spanish wine, that means the wine has to be aged for at least 2 years, which is 1 year in oak. Crianza is definitely designed for someone who really like oaky but not too heavy red wines. And now we're moving, guys, toward Reserva. When you see Reserva on a bottle of Spanish wine, that means the wine has to be aged for at least 3 years and minimum 1 year in oak. So we normally expect a little bit more complexity, and wines, generally speaking, is slightly more expensive than Crianza. And now we're moving, guys, to Gran Reserva. When you see word Gran Reserva, a bottle of Spanish wine, that means that the wine has to be aged for at least 5 years and minimum 2 years in oak. So when you have a Gran Reserva wine, we're expecting something really full-bodied, quite oaky, and normally a little bit more expensive than Reserva. So guys, the next term is Denominación de Origen. You can see a word DO Terra Alta. So DO basically is the name of the region. Terra Alta is the name of the region. Each bottle of Spanish wine have a quality stamp on the back label. So is that confirmed that the wine was produced in this particular region? Terra Alta, by the way, it's based in Catalonia. Vino de Pago, this is term number 8, the highest classification of wine in Spain. It's less than 20 producers actually to holding Vino de Pago. What you have to do, you have to use your own grapes, and the wine has to be bottled and produced at the estate. So this is very, very special bottle of wine, guys, really is. Cosecha, this is term number 9, guys. Cosecha means basically vintage. So normally you find on the back label. So what vintage means? This is year of the harvest. Guys, term number 10, White Rioja. This is actually an official term. What I'm showing this bottle of wine, because in Denominación de Origen Rioja, it's 5 red grape varieties permitted, but it's also 8 white grapes. One of the main grape variety is Viura, and trust me, that bottle of Cornelio Dinastia, it's absolutely fantastic. Corpinnat, this is term number 11. This is very, very special bottle of wine, guys. So a couple of years ago, 9 producers from Cava region, they decide to leave Denominación de Origen Cava and then create his own association called Corpinnat. So when you have Corpinnat on the label, you know that has to be a sparkling wine. Wine is produced exactly the same way like champagne, so we have a second fermentation inside the bottle, and wine is aged on the lees for at least 18 months, which is even longer than in champagne. All the grapes has to be harvested by hand, and all the grape has to be grown organically. So we're talking about the really premium sparkling wine from Spain. Highly recommend to try it, guys. It's absolutely amazing. And finally, guys, cherry on the cake. This is a bottle of white Ribera del Duero. Yes, Denominación de Origen Ribera del Duero. From 2019, you also allowed to use white grapes in that region. So the main grape variety in a white Ribera del Duero is Albio Mayor, has to be at least 75%, and you also allowed to use another 12 different grape varieties. This particular bottle of wine is 100% of Albio Mayor, and wine is absolutely delicious. Thank you for watching, guys. I know that was quite a long video. If some of you get a little bit hungry in the meantime, really looking for some Spanish food in Dublin, I highly recommend to try Las Tapas de Lola and Uno Mas, a fantastic place to go. One more time, thank you for watching. Muchas gracias, amigos. Don't forget to subscribe. Until next time.